Let's bring out our minister with a warm, loving round of applause. Assalamu alaikum.
Praise be to Allah. Let us give everyone, Brother Daniel, Sister Yvette, Brother Mark, and Brother James a warm round of applause. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, the revealer of all truth, the sender of all prophets, the God of Abraham and Moses, the God of Jesus and Muhammad. Peace be upon all of these great and worthy servants. We thank Almighty God Allah for each and every one of them. And we thank Allah for the divine revelation that Allah has sent down through these great men. That we have their words contained for us in the form of the Bible and Holy Quran. Great books of scriptures that if we are believers in God, we can go into the books, extract that wisdom and use it as a guide and guidance for the life that God has given us. So we thank Allah, and as Muslims, we make no distinction between any of the prophets of God.
Right.
However, as black people, we are a very special people.
That's right.
We are special people who have undergone a very special set of circumstances.
Right.
We are a people who have been totally destroyed. We're a people who've been robbed of our names and language, our culture, our God, our religion, our history, and our identity.
Right.
We are a people that have undergone what no other people have ever undergone.
Right.
And the good thing about you and I is that we are survivors.
Yes.
Right.
We survived what no other people have ever gone through, and we're still standing.
Right.
And so we thank God for still being standing and still standing despite the oppression that we were faced with. But being oppressed, being destroyed, put us in a position that it required God Himself to intervene in our affairs.
Right.
So we thank God for doing just that. So we are blessed people because no one else can actually say that.
Right.
That God Himself came for them. But God Himself came for the black man and woman of America.
Right.
So we thank Allah for coming in the person of Master Father Muhammad, the great Mahdi that was to come, whom we loudly and proudly proclaim to the world, our Savior has arrived.
That's right.
He has come.
That's right.
He's present in the world. And that is who we follow. So we thank Him for coming and choosing us to be His people. We thank Him for raising up from among us His messenger, who is the Messiah, the arisen Christ, the little lamb without spot nor blemish, the fulfiller of all that we read in the scriptures. Or we are living in the time of fulfillment.
Right.
So one was raised from among us, a little Georgia-born black man. Who only went to the 3rd grade of school. One who was born into slavery. He was a sharecropper as a child. Which was really slavery by another name. In the deep South. Where blacks had no rights. Where it was a common sighting to see black men hanging from trees. Our messenger was born from that. He experienced that. He seen that. He lived that. But God chose him and raised him up in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And empowered him to do the greatest job that there ever has been. Know and understand, brothers and sisters, that the work that we are engaged in is the hardest job that there ever has been. And that is to resurrect the people who are mentally and spiritually dead. So we thank Allah for raising one with the proper heart. Because you have to have the proper heart. Well, to work with black people, you gotta love black people more than they hate themselves. Well, we are special people, but we are very special people. We are special people to work with. So the one that was raised had to have the proper heart to do this work. He had to be willing to suffer, be long-suffering.
Right.
He had to be patient. He had to be persevering.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So we thank Allah for his messenger Messiah,
Right.
who did a beautiful job
That's right.
at raising black people up and producing the nation of Islam out of the destroyed black men and women of America.
Right.
Think about that.
Right.
That's a feat in and of itself.
Yes, sir.
Don't take that lightly.
Right. Right, Brother
He
Randy.
raised the nation of Islam in America.
That's
Yes,
right.
A group of disciplined black men and women.
That's right.
Productive, hard-working, intelligent, clean.
Right.
Huh? United. Black men and women. You know how hard it is to get black people to unite?
Come on now.
To do anything together?
Right.
Oh, that's a struggle.
Yes, sir.
And we struggle at it every day.
Right, sir.
And the reality is, the only reason why we still here is because we have strong leadership.
Right.
Is that right?
That's right.
That he's so strong, he compels us to stay the course.
Right.
So we thank Allah not only for the messenger Messiah, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but proving again that God loves us so much.
Come on.
He did not leave us comfortless.
Yeah.
Come on.
And he left with us today in this pivotal minute, in this pivotal hour.
Yes, sir.
He left with us a champion.
Right.
The boldest, baddest black man on the planet.
Come on.
Oh, I'm so proud to be living in the time of this man.
Go ahead.
Huh? We haven't had one such as the one we have today.
Right.
We have never seen one like this.
Right.
Come on.
Huh?
Right.
We have never seen one like the one we have in our midst today.
Come on. Talk about that, man.
Huh?
Yeah.
God made a perfect leader for us.
Yeah.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, God couldn't make a better helper for you.
Come on. Right.
Huh?
Right.
Well, he couldn't make a better helper. That means the one that we have is a perfect leader. Not that he's perfect, but he's perfect enough for you and I.
Right.
I'm speaking about our beloved minister,
Right.
who's been at the forefront of the struggle of black people for over 60 years.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Right.
He's the last man standing.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Right, sir.
He has overcome them all.
Right.
Is that right?
Right, sir.
The boldest, the baddest, the hardest working, the most productive, the most consistent, the most articulate,
Come on. Come on.
God-fearing black man among us.
That's right.
The undisputed,
Heavyweight.
undisputed,
Come on.
Yeah.
heavyweight champion
Right.
of freedom, justice, and equality. In case you don't know who I'm talking about.
Go ahead.
That's the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Oh, praise God. Amen. It is a privilege, pleasure, and an honor for me to be with you once again. I'd like to greet you in the universal greeting words of peace and paradise. Assalamu alaikum. How we feel?
Fine, sir.
Oh, praises are due to Allah. I feel fine. I feel great.
Praise God.
Every day above the ground is a good day. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And every day above the ground that we get a chance to bear witness to God's coming,
Right.
to God's presence,
Right.
and the glorious wisdom that He gave us
Right.
for our advancement.
Right.
Oh man, this is like, you know, this I get high doing this thing.
Right.
This is the strongest dose right here.
Right.
This is a natural high.
Right.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So when we come to the mosque, we come to get high, but a natural high.
Right.
Because we worship and serve God the Most High. Is that right?
That's right.
But He ain't high because He's smoking the blunt.
Right.
He's high because He's dealing with truth.
Right.
And there's nothing more powerful than truth. There's no greater electrical magnetic energy than the knowledge of God that He has come and revealed to you and I.
Right.
So all praises due to Allah. I'm fired up. Looking forward to continuing on this subject of time
Yes, sir.
and what must be done.
Come on.
We're looking at the final call,
Yes, sir. Right.
and it says white terror
Come on.
in America. We're living in a very serious time.
That's right.
Yeah.
We are witnessing mass shootings. We are witnessing white supremacists
Right.
who are unashamed today
That's right.
sir.
right? To flaunt their hatred of black people.
Right.
Right.
So we are witnessing, these events that are happening over and over and over again.
Right.
And it's to the point now where the enemy has to acknowledge that the white man is the #1 terrorist in America, but really it's bigger than that. He's the #1 terrorist on the planet.
Right.
That's been the case.
That's right.
That's not news. That's old news. Is that right?
Right.
But what is news is that the white man today is conceding that fact.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's so bad, they wondering what's wrong with them.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
Yes, sir.
It's so bad today, white folks is upset and sick and tired. Oh, white folks crap.
Right.
They sick and tired of themselves.
Right.
Come on.
So the question is, what's going on?
Right.
Huh? What's going on is that we are living in the time of the end of the white man's world.
Right.
Make that plain, man.
And now the white man, who is the ruler of this world,
That's right, that's right.
huh? This is the white man's world.
That's right.
Does anybody have a problem with that?
No, sir. No, sir.
I mean, we may have a problem that it's his word, but do you have a problem when we saying that it's his word? Do you have a problem acknowledging that this is his word?
No, sir.
This is not his planet.
Right.
He doesn't own the planet. The planet belongs to the original black man and woman, but a world is a civilization.
Go ahead, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
It is governments.
Right.
It is a school system, an educational system,
Right.
a political system,
Right.
an economic system,
Right.
a social system.
Yes, sir.
And we live within the white man's world.
Go ahead.
We live in his political reality.
That's right.
We live in his economic reality.
Right.
We live in the world that is a byproduct of his educational system.
Go ahead.
Is that right?
That's right.
His mindset.
Right.
He runs the world.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
He's been running it for the last 6,000 years.
Right.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
But the good news is that the time for him to rule us is over.
Right.
We are living at the time of the end of the white man's rule.
Go ahead, sir.
All praises are due to Allah. We should all be happy
That's right. That's right.
and rejoicing, but we are happy, but the devil is mad.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
Oh, he's mad because he see his world leaving him.
Right.
So they elected a president that promises to make America white again.
Right.
Huh? Not right because she ain't never been right.
Right.
Not great because she ain't never been great.
Right.
America has never been great for black people,
Come on, man.
for indigenous people.
That's
Is that right?
That's right.
America has only been great for white men.
Go ahead.
And so they elected a president to bring them back to those glory days.
Yes, sir.
Their time is over.
Right.
And the white man is dying a natural death.
That's right.
So in this time of the death of the white man, the natural death of the white man, he's dying a natural death.
Right.
His birth rate, right, has declined.
Go ahead.
Right? They're dying from all kind of things.
That's right.
So whites are an aging population.
That's right.
So they say that in the next 20 to 25 years, white people will be the minorities in a country that they stole.
Go ahead.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
And so their fear of losing political power, economic power, social power, right, is causing and driving this madness.
Right.
So we're looking at witnessing events such as what we saw in Texas,
Yes, sir.
in El Paso,
Right.
like we saw in Dayton, Ohio,
Right.
right? Like we saw with what was taking place here in Ruggles, where these young white boys riding the arms line,
Come on.
terrorizing our people. right? We're looking at the hate of these individuals that just don't know what to do. And so the question is, what time is it? What time are we living in, and what must be done? So the last few weeks, we was dealing with the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And he gave us a knowledge of the time. So we went into the Bible in the book of Revelations that tells us, here is wisdom. Let him who had understanding count the number of the beast. For his number, well, first of all, the number of the beast is the number of a man.
Yes, sir.
And his number is 666. Or some say 6, 6, and 6. So 3 6s represent the number of the beast. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us a breakdown of those 6s.
Yes, sir.
And he told us that the first 6 represents 60,000 members of the original people who were involved in a process to produce a new people on our planet. They, Yakub, who is the father of the devil, who was an original black man, he had an idea to make a people who were unlike the original people, who would rule the original people for 6,000 years. So the first 60 represents Yakub and his followers, which were 60,000 members of the original people.
Yes, sir.
So the Bible says, let us make man in our image and after our likeness.
Come on now.
So the us that is making man, here's a group of people, let us make man in our image and our likeness. So those, that us that is making this new man are the 60,000 members of the original people who came together to produce a new man. The white man is not the original man. Right?
No.
So this is why you have man and then you have mankind. Because the white man, he's kind of like the original man. Not quite. He's not the original. Is that right? He's been grafted. He taught us that the process took them 600 years.
Come on now.
To produce and to graft white out of black through a process that they now call eugenics. That you see white people love eugenics. Is that right? They're still practicing eugenics. That's what Planned Parenthood is all about. It is about population control. What do you think population control is about? They're not trying to stop their birth rate. They want to kill off black people to produce more white people.
Yes, sir.
Now this is real. You got to know this. Now, we can look at some of these crackpot crackers that are running around with AR-15s and doing these mass shootings. But those are the least of your worries.
Come on, minister.
Those are the dumb devils. The ones you really got to worry about are the sophisticated devils in high places who are killing us off wholesale by the use of food, by the use of medicine, by poisoning our water, by poisoning our air. They're engaged in a full-fledged campaign for population control. That is eugenics. They want to kill the darker and spare the lighter. So don't think that the idea of Yakub is far-fetched and unrealistic
Go ahead.
when we see that it's still being practiced today.
That's right.
Matter of fact, the white man has made us into eugenics. So some of you selectively choose a lighter woman. Black man,
Yeah.
you don't want a black woman in your life.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to produce black babies.
Right.
So you're chasing every other woman but your own color. You see this happening on the sister side as well. Is that right? Serena Williams got her white man. Eve got her white man. Huh? What's the sister that married the Prince Harry?
Yeah.
Merkel. Huh? Meghan Merkel. Right? So what's going on? See, this is us now.
Right.
Because we have been affected with the mind of Yaqub. We have been affected with the mind of black inferiority
Yes, sir.
and the mind of white supremacy.
Yes,
Huh? So this is still going, so don't doubt that it happened 6,000 years ago. Sometimes we crazy with the stuff we question.
Right.
We don't want to believe the messenger's teachings.
Right.
I don't think that happened. How you don't think it happened when it still happened? I want to talk back to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's like those who say, man, I don't believe with y'all. Y'all talking about that wheel, that mother plane, that spaceship. Well, wait a minute, how you don't believe in the mother wheel, but you believe that the white man got a space station hanging out there?
Right.
Come on and talk back to me.
That's right.
You believe the white man is sending rockets to Mars?
Right.
Isn't that a spaceship?
Right.
Come on now, y'all got real quiet on that one.
Right.
See, because the only God we believe in is the white man.
Right.
And if the white man can't do it, you don't think it can be done.
Right.
If the white man didn't tell you, you don't think it's real.
Come on, Pastor.
Come
We
on.
reject the knowledge of ourselves. How else could the white man got here?
Right.
Except that they came from us.
Right.
Come on.
They don't have the genetic makeup to make us.
Right.
But we can make them.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Right.
So the last 6 was what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us, that they would rule
Right.
for 6,000 years.
Right.
Huh? This people who were made, who are unlike the original people. Not only is black the opposite of white, right? But wrong is the opposite of right. They are made off of the opposite nature of the original language. We are not the same
That's right.
on many levels.
Right.
We don't think the same. Your nature is not the same as theirs.
That's right.
Now the Negro, huh?
Right.
The Negro is a different species too.
That's right. Gotta say that.
So just like the white, just like Yaqub made a man,
Right.
huh? The white man made a man too.
That's right.
So Yaqub being a black man, he made the white man, but the white man being from Yaqub, he made the Negro.
Right. Go ahead.
And the Negro is a black man or woman who has been robbed of the knowledge of themselves.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
So the white man made us all up into himself.
Right.
So even though your nature is different, huh? Because we've been reared by our slave master. We acting just like them.
Right.
We thinking just like them.
Right.
Huh?
Yes, sir. Right.
But when we do evil, generally we have to alter our mind state.
Right. Right.
So we have to indulge in a lot of alcoholic consumption.
Right.
We have to indulge in a lot of drug use.
Right.
Right?
True.
You know how when you about to go on a mission, right?
Come on, Brother Minister. Yes, sir.
You going out to the club with evil intentions
Right.
of taking a gullible sister home,
Uh-oh.
huh? That you have no intention of marrying and none of that.
Right.
At all.
You gotta spit your best game, but you say, I gotta get my mind right
Watch out now.
first.
Watch out. Watch out.
Go ahead, brother.
So you at the bar, getting what you say, getting your mind right. No, you ain't getting your mind right, you getting it all wrong.
Right. Oh, that's right.
Because you have to put, all praises due to Allah, you have to put the
Right.
God in you to sleep
Right.
in order for you to lie straight.
Right, right.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Because you are righteous by nature.
Right, sir.
This is why even in our evil, even in our wickedness, sometimes in the gang world, right?
Right.
You'll kill him because you said that nigga wasn't right.
Right.
Well, hold on. Y'all both wrong. You in the drug game.
Right.
Well, he was wrong.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
There's still rules to this thing. Huh?
Right.
He wasn't right. We still want it to be right even though we're wrong.
Right.
That's your nature.
Great.
So these are the 3 6s. So suffice it to say, here is wisdom. Let him who have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. This is the white man. We went over in the last 2 weeks how the scientists have proven the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yes, sir.
Shown and proving that white people are a new species on our planet.
Right.
Right.
I lost the TV, Brother Rufus. Get that up. Proving that they are a new species on our planet. So we gave you research and information from the University of Copenhagen. We gave you research from the National Geographic, who put out magazines and studies showing and proving that this people are a new people on our planet. We gave you research from Dr. Hans Eberg of the University of Copenhagen, Dr. Chang, a geneticist at Pennsylvania State University. These are white and Chinese scientists that are now proving what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught, that this is a new people on our planet. And we also documented that not only are they new, they pinpointed that they've only been among us for the last 6,000 to 10,000 years, they said. And they even pinpointed that the origin of this people began not only around 6,000 years ago, but around the Black Sea, which is the place where the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that Yaqub was given an island he was given land on the island of Pelan.
Right.
Which is the place where the devil was manufactured.
Right.
The place where the 60,000 members of the original people all went and started this process of selective breeding to bring in the new people on our planet.
Right. Yes, sir.
So this is the new man, or this is the beast that we read about. Now, I want to bring it full circle. Our Savior has arrived.
Right.
And he has given us a teaching. Everything that I gave you so far. From the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, is supreme wisdom.
Yes, sir.
Man, just with that alone, you should want to get away from your enemy.
Right.
Just with that alone, you will not accept nothing from your enemy. You would not want him teaching your babies.
Right.
You would not want to eat his food.
Right.
You would not want him governing you.
Yes, sir.
Right? So then what's the alternative? Huh? If he's a devil and he's your enemy, right? Then, but this is his world.
Right.
So separation is the only remedy.
Yes, sir.
Right. Right.
Only remedy.
But we have to separate mentally and psychologically before we can separate physically.
Right.
Exactly.
Thank you, sir.
Because it is the mental and the psychological things that are really locking us into slavery today.
Right.
Huh? And it is the way that he's destroying us today. So I gave you the scriptures
Yes, sir.
from the book of Matthew. And it says, in them, meaning us, is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which said, by hearing you shall hear and shall not understand, and seeing you shall see and shall not perceive. For this people's hearts is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them.
Yes, sir.
So, brothers and sisters, the knowledge is present to get us out of the condition that we're in.
Right.
God has already come and given us a teaching to exalt us and make us the greatest people that they ever lived.
That's right.
But we are still suffering today because we have turned a blind eye to the message of what God has come and given us.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Now, there's another 60 that's in this equation. And the 3 scores represent 60. And we're taught that that represents a grace period.
Yes, sir.
Because if the white man's time is up, see, the 6,000 years, his time has already expired.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is why he is dying a natural death. This is why we are looking at an upheaval, revolution.
Right.
Because there's a shift today.
Come on. Yes.
Now you say, well, if his time is up, then why is he still in power? See, time had to be given.
Right.
Right.
A grace period
Right.
had to be given so that the man of God can come and reach the people.
Yes, sir.
Because you are the people of God.
Come on. That's right.
And this is the end of the devil's civilization.
Come on.
God's
Right.
intention is to destroy these devils outright.
Come on.
Make that plain, man.
Yes, sir.
He's going to destroy them. Destroy their civilization.
Sir.
And as we read before, God's intention and aim is to destroy this world with fire.
Come on, come on.
Huh?
That's right.
But there's a problem.
Uh-oh.
If he destroys America, which he will, because she's wicked,
Right.
Right.
here's a problem.
Yeah. Talk
You in America.
Right.
Come on. Come on.
So God allowed a time for a messenger to teach you, to allow you to accept the message, and to separate yourself. You got to get out. We have to get out the way.
Get out of the way.
Right.
We have to get out of the way. God has his aim on the devil.
Come on.
He got the devil in the crosshairs.
Right.
But you and I, we are like shielding the devil.
Uh-oh.
We are blocking him.
Man.
Come on.
Huh? So that if God shoot the devil, we gonna get caught up.
Better blade it.
So that last 60 years is the 60 years of grace that was given. Now this is very key,
Very key. Come on.
because grace,
Come on.
undeserved kindness.
Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Grace does not last forever.
Right.
Once God came and he raised his messenger, and his messenger made knowledge born, or gave us the information,
Go ahead.
Sir.
we were placed in the valley of decision.
Right.
Just like today, because of grace, we're still in the valley of decision.
Right.
Grace.
You have to make a decision today, black man and woman. Do you stand with God or do you stand with Satan? Huh? That's the decision today. Where do you stand? Are you with God or are you with Satan?
Right.
Come on, come on.
You could have made that information, you could have made that decision until knowledge came to you.
Good point.
So the knowledge came and the time was allotted for the messenger to teach you.
Right.
Come on, yes, sir.
To allow you to come back to your own.
Yes, sir.
To accept your own. To be yourself.
Yes, sir.
To separate yourself from your enemy.
Right. Come on.
Huh?
Come on, come on.
To make a distinction. We gotta make a distinction today.
Come on. Now, Ron says.
See, it's hard for us to teach that the white man is the devil today. That was easier to teach maybe 60 years ago.
Right.
Huh? It's getting easier now, thank God to Trump.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Trump put us back in the game, man.
Go ahead.
That's right.
I was gonna say, it was hard to say when you wasn't witnessing them lynching you and beating you, but hell, the last 5, 6 years.
Come on now.
Man, we've been witnessing lynchings all over again.
Right.
Tamir Rice was a lynching.
Right, it was.
Michael Brown was a lynching.
Yes, sir.
Sandra Bland was a lynching.
Yes, sir.
Eric Gardner was a lynching.
Come on, man.
And we're watching the police get off.
Right.
Is that right?
Right.
Sir.
So yeah, we can say these devils now. We can, but we gotta be careful because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, don't use the term devil.
Yes, sir.
Use the slave master's children.
Right.
The enemy.
Yeah.
Or Satan.
Right.
See? Satan.
Mm.
And the reason when we look at these terms, they're more specific now.
Oh, yes.
It's not softer language, it's just more refined language.
Right.
But part of that refinement is understanding the nuanced difference between devil and Satan.
Right. Go ahead.
Huh? The devil is a doer of evil.
Go ahead, sir.
Huh? But his evil is usually relegated to himself.
Go ahead.
But Satan is one that leads others into the doing of evil. Huh?
Go ahead.
So the white man is Satan today.
Go ahead.
But he's made out of us a bunch of dumb devils. All right?
That's old. That's old.
I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. But we have been made devils because we are doing evil. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, dumb devil. Because when you are acting devilishment, you are going against your own nature.
Right.
And you are working against your own self-interest.
Right.
Come on, brother.
It don't benefit you to be a devil today.
Right. Right.
That's right.
Because when you're a devil, see the devil, you give him permission to the devil,
Right.
to Satan. When you act as a devil, you are under the authority and power of Satan.
Right.
Yes,
Huh? And you give him power to rule you. So being a dumb devil makes Satan throw you in his prisons.
Right.
Being a dumb devil allows Satan to re-enslave you.
Come on.
Huh? Because when they put in the 13th Amendment, there was a clause in there, right? That said slavery was abolished except if you have been convicted of a crime.
Right.
Once you've been convicted of a crime, now Satan has his way with you.
Right.
So we running around in our community, terrorizing our people, right?
Right.
For the devil's pleasure. It's so sad and it's disappointing that we running around and killing each other. While we see these devils lining up, ready to kill us.
Right.
Right? So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, we are fighting a war on two fronts.
Right.
We got to stop the racist white supremacists and white police from killing us, but we also got to stop us from killing us. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Dumb devils. Time had to be given to educate the people of God, to give them a chance to accept their own. But after that time was given, the judgment is not going to be halted forever. After that time is given, the wrath of God will come down. And in that hour, the wrath of God will not care whether you are black or you're white. In that time, the wrath of God will be for those the language of Satan.
Yes, sir.
Respite me until the day they're raised.
That's it.
Come on.
Delay my doom.
Come on, come on.
He was given 6,000 years.
Yes, sir.
Delay my doom
Uh-huh.
until the day they're raised. See, this last 60 years
Bring that out.
are the 60 years that you were to be raised.
Come on.
Huh?
Talk about the teacher.
But if you remain asleep, then the devil think he can keep ruling.
Yeah.
But look at what God says. The Satan tells God, well, since you judged me and found me to be erring,
Come on, yes, sir.
I'm going to lie in wait for your people on the straight path. And I'm going to come from before them and from behind them, from their left and from their right. And I'm going to cause them all to deviate.
Come on, come on.
See the answer? Look at what God says. Whomsoever of them follow you,
Yes, sir.
I will fill hell with you all.
Come on.
Make that plain, brother.
So brothers and sisters, this message, the time and what must be done has been heavy on my mind and heart because we have to know the time we're living in.
Yes, sir.
Death stands at the door.
Right.
Our God has come. Salvation is there. But if you reject the teaching,
Right.
Talk about
then we're looking at a chastisement.
Right.
That's right.
Matter of fact, these white folks that are out here killing us, that's part of the divine plan. You say what?
Yes, sir.
Yes, because when the children of Israel refused to listen to Moses and Aaron,
Right, come on.
God sent to them fiery serpents to bite them.
Go ahead.
Bring that out.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said angry serpents or fiery serpents just mean angry white people.
Right.
That's it, that's like,
Huh?
here,
Right.
here.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Chastisement is on us.
Yes, sir.
Right? Chastisement is on us.
Yes, sir, brother.
We talked about in part one of this lecture
Yes, sir.
what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us in our Savior has arrived of the judgment. And he talked about how, I'll go to it very quick.
Yes, sir.
He says, come follow me. I say I will lead you to your God, the God of salvation. If you stay where you are, you will suffer the consequence. Just as a reminder, read the Bible, Jeremiah 50 and 46. Jeremiah 50 and 46 talks about the noise that comes at the taking of Babylon. The earth is moved and the cry is heard among the nations. See, Babylon, mystery Babylon, America is in the Bible.
Yes, sir.
How can we believe in the prophets that they are prophets, that they can see the future and they not see America? Do you think America is not in the Bible? America is in the Bible. If America was not in the Bible, all the prophets were blind.
Yes, sir.
Huh? But this is the most powerful country in the last 6,000 years.
Right.
This is the most wicked nation in the last 6,000 years.
Right.
How can the prophets call out Sodom and Gomorrah, ancient Egypt, and ancient Babylon,
Go ahead.
and leave out America?
Right.
They must have been blind, but they weren't.
Right.
America's in the Bible listed as this mystery Babylon. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in 2 Peter 3 and 10, it is terrible, awful, and frightful to look up and instead of seeing a blue sky, seeing flames of fire.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
This is what is written of in the Bible in the book of Peter. But the day the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also, the works that are therein, shall all burn up. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, this will surely come. Allah God has affirmed this prophecy with me.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
He says the whole heavens will be blotted out. And in its place, there will be a canopy of flames. The heavens and the elements that make up the atmosphere of the earth will melt with fervent heat. And there will be an explosion of the total atmosphere of the earth by God himself.
Good teacher.
Now you either believe in the Bible and Holy Quran or you don't.
Right, you don't.
These are the prophecies contained in the scriptures that we are now living in the fulfillment of.
Yes, sir.
This is why there's a sense of urgency with me in teaching the time and what must be done.
That's right.
And this urgency was not born of myself.
Right.
I'm only echoing the voice of the man of God on scene today, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Take that
Right.
Come on, come on.
Go ahead, brother.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, this is why I mentioned earlier that you must have a name of Allah God even to see the hereafter. Huh? You have to accept your own and be yourself. He says, quoted from the Bible, the book of Isaiah, bring everyone that is called by my name.
By my name.
The words follow that he has created them for his glory. See, God is trying to make a new people. See, that last 60 years has been a time when God himself came
Yes, sir.
and intervened in our affairs
Right.
and raised a messenger for us
Right.
to teach us,
Right.
to make us a new people.
That's right.
See, the FOI is a new black man.
Right.
The
Yes, sir.
MTT is a new black woman. Is that right? We're new people that God himself came to make.
Come on.
That's right.
You gotta come on. Today, in this time, accept your own and be yourself.
Yes, sir.
He says this worship called Christianity and the names which the white slave masters, and the names of the white slave masters doomed black America
Shown up.
to an eternal death in the fire of hell.
Right.
This fire of hell will be kindled from the atmosphere and the sun over America. Good God.
Yes, sir.
Huh? He says this is the only part of the earth of which it is prophesied that God would turn into a lake of fire. Not the whole earth. The reason it's called a lake is because a lake is confined to a certain area. A lake is inland surrounded by land.
Uh-huh.
Huh?
Good point.
Now this is very key because we're talking about a chastisement that is coming to America. Not a theological chastisement.
Right.
This is not rhetoric. This is real.
Right.
Very plain.
God is on scene today. And he's calling on us. So this last 60, and again, this last 60 years are so pivotal.
Yes, sir.
It's this time of grace.
Wait, just
But my main point to you is that grace has an expiration.
Come on,
Make that
come on.
plain.
We are looking at the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is ready now to make his transition. See, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is grace.
Say it again.
He is the mercy of God. Huh? All praises to you, Lord. Those who don't know, those who don't know. He's grace.
Make that plain.
Because God already came for you. He already raised his messenger Messiah for you.
Come on, man.
Huh?
That's right there.
So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he's grace.
Come on, come on, come on.
Undeserved kindness. Huh?
Undeserved.
Come on. Come on.
In the Holy Quran, it says, Allah will not chastise them while thou was among them,
Yes.
nor will Allah chastise them while they seek forgiveness.
Come on now.
This is why I'm saying the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is grace, because as long as he's among us,
Right. It's that.
God is not going to bring that fire that I just read you about.
Yes, sir.
It's right.
Oh, it's coming.
Yes, sir.
Some of us say, well, when is it coming? Show me that what you threatened us with.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's right in the Quran, too.
Yeah.
See, Allah knew you. Huh? He knew you. Your words are right in the Quran. They always question the prophets. Bring us that which you threatened us with. Huh? Huh?
Right, Brother Ray.
But God will not chastise us. So as long as Farrakhan is present, you should thank God. Every day you see that man.
Yes, sir.
This is why whenever we see him, we so happy just to see him.
Right.
Just to hear him.
Right.
Because we know that as long as he's teaching,
Go ahead.
there's grace.
Right.
There's a chance for you to get right.
Right.
Oh, but grace don't last forever. That time is coming
Go ahead.
where the minister will depart and we will witness the full weight of the wrath of God. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
In the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 24, it says, 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon the holy city to finish the transgressions and to make an end of sin and to make reconciliation for iniquity and to bring in everlasting righteousness
Make that plain.
and to seal up the vision and prophecy and to anoint the Most High.
Yes, sir.
These 70 weeks can be akin to that last 60 because we were told that that last 60 represents 60 years of grace not to exceed 70. Huh? And in this time of grace, this is where we're supposed to finish your transgression and stop all that rebellion.
Right, sir.
Right.
You ain't had enough yet.
Come on now.
You think you got one more run in you?
One more. Yes, sir. One more big.
Huh? You think you got one more bid?
Another one now.
Come on, man. No, we just gonna keep getting high. We just gonna keep drinking and drugging.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thugging.
Go ahead.
When you know God is present. When you know God is calling you. When you know you are the righteous. When you know it's nation time. What are you waiting for? God gave you time to get it out your system.
Right.
Huh? He gave you time to get it out your system.
Come on.
This 70 years to finish transgression and to make an end of sin.
Make that plain, man.
Listen to me, black man and woman.
Come on.
God is present.
Yes, sir.
He's ready to destroy our enemies. But he's giving you time because he's trying to save you, black man and woman.
Yes, sir.
Get it out your system. You got to come out of her.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
To bring in everlasting righteousness.
Come on, man. Yes, sir.
And to seal up the vision and end the prophecy. Well, how does the prophecy end? It ends with the destruction of the devil's civilization.
Yes, sir.
And it ends with the coming in of the kingdom of God that is established on earth.
Come on, talk about it.
No, you don't have to die to go to God's kingdom.
Right.
You better try to live to make it to the hereafter.
Yeah.
After the God destroys the devil and removes him off our planet,
Right.
we will live in a paradise
Right.
of heaven on earth.
Go ahead.
That's what the prophecies talk about.
Yes, sir.
Talk about the mind.
Go read Revelations 21.
Come on.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
What does the Christian prayer say? Thy kingdom come, thy will be done
Right.
on earth as it is in heaven. Huh?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Heaven is the holy places
Right.
Yes, sir.
where God resides.
Right.
Come on.
It's not a mystical place in space.
Right. That's right.
Come on. Make that plain.
But we are to look for the New Jerusalem,
Right. Yeah.
which is a city that comes down from the sky.
Yeah.
You know what that city is?
Yes, sir.
Huh? It comes right from here. It went up, in 1929.
Right.
Huh? And it's the basis of the new world. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
In the Bible, listen to this. In the book of Revelation 7:1-2, it says, and after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth.
Yes, sir.
that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
Come on,
Right.
come on.
And I saw another angel having the seal of the living God.
Go
Come
ahead.
on, come on.
And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
Come on now.
Yes,
Go ahead.
We have to know that, see, God is present. Now, this is your Bible.
Come on, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Go back and read it when you get home.
Okay.
come on.
God gave power to his angels to harm the earth.
Yes, yes, yes.
But there's one who's standing saying, hold back the wind.
Come on, come on, come on.
But why are you holding back the winds for?
Come on, sir.
Yeah, good question.
Saying, hurt not the earth, neither the trees, neither the sea, nor the trees.
Come on.
Why? Till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Huh?
Break that down.
See, the destruction of the devil's civilization is ready. God is eager. He wants to get it in.
That's right.
Right.
God's as sick and tired of these devils as you are.
Right. That's right.
Matter of fact, he's more sick and tired than you.
Right.
We cozy it up with the devil.
That's right.
We gotta, you know, impartial to the devil.
Yes.
Go ahead. That's my friend. Go ahead.
Right. That's right.
You still want to hang out with them.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
We still think we can convert them.
Come on. Goodness.
We still think they can change.
All right. No, sir.
So something.
That's what all of these protests and whatnot is really all about. You really think the white man is going to change. So you in front of him talking about Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Well, Black lives ain't never mattered to white people.
That's right.
And they ain't never gonna matter to white people.
Right. Right.
All praises to you, God. I need my brothers and sisters from Black Lives Matter to join me with the 10,000 fearless peacemakers. I need you to really teach black people that Black Lives Matter. So that we can stop killing ourselves. You ain't never gonna convince these crackers that your life matters. It ain't never mattered to them. Matter of fact, your life is a threat to them.
Yes.
Come on, man. Come on, come
Say
on.
that again.
Come on.
So you got a man, you have this angel saying, hold back the forces. God is ready to destroy this devil.
Come on.
Come on.
But he's holding the forces back
Come on.
till we have sealed the servants of our God in their forehead. You know what the sealing is what's happening right now.
Yes, sir.
It is me giving you the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You coming to an understanding of these teachings. You accepting it and sealing it, and it becoming a part of your mind,
Come on,
your
right.
being, your reality.
Come on, man.
See, it's not sealed yet.
That's right.
You heard the message, you like it, but you're not sure yet. What you waiting for?
Come on. We
You
need it.
still on the sideline.
We need it.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
I like the nation, I'm a sympathizer.
Come on.
I like the nation, I'm a supporter. We love you, our supporters.
Yes, sir.
We love you, our sympathizers.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
But I'm just showing you God is waiting for this to be sealed in your head.
Come on.
Because the moment you are convicted and convinced
Yes, sir.
of the truth of these teachings,
Go ahead.
and you become one of his servants.
Come
on, man.
Come on, brother.
See, when the elect have been sealed,
on.
then all bets are off.
Oh.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
All praises are due to Allah.
Yes, sir.
Man, we holding this thing up.
Right.
Show up.
Come on, man. Come on.
Show up.
Wait.
And I heard the number of them which were sealed. And they were sealed 144,000.
Right.
All of the tribes of the children of Israel. See, you are the real Israel.
Come on. That's right.
You are the real children of Israel. Ain't those Ashkenazi Jews, those European Jews,
That's right.
they're not the real ones. You the real
Come
one.
on, man. We need it.
God's calling on you.
Wait a minute, McCoy. Show up.
Right.
Revelation 18.
Come
And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen. It's fallen. Babylon the great is America.
Come on. It's falling. It's falling.
And it's become the habitation of devils. Don't you see America falling?
Yes, sir.
Go on and talk back to me.
He's falling.
The scripture says, when Satan cast out Satan,
Come on.
how can his kingdom stand?
Come on.
Today we are witnessing Satan casting out Satan. Is that right? America's falling. Is that right? She's falling morally. Is that right? She's falling economically. Is that right? She's lost prestige of all the nations all over the earth. There's confusion. America's falling.
Come on, man.
She's dying a natural death. Oh, Babylon is falling because she has become the habitation of devils.
Come on. Teach the book. Teach the book.
Why is she the habitation of devils? Because Satan has been your ruler.
Right.
And he's producing dumb devils out of the masses of the people.
Come on.
Huh?
That's right.
Come on.
They're passing curriculums to teach our babies about LGBTQ in elementary school. Teach them about LGBTQ history. What the hell is that?
Come on. Dumb down.
That's just giving license to these pedophiles to abuse your children. Oh, America's falling. She's falling.
Yes, sir.
She has become the habitation of devils.
Yes.
In a hold of every foul spirit.
Come on. Teach the book.
Huh? And a cage of every unclean and hateful word.
Come on. Good description.
Come on now.
Yes, sir.
This is America.
Right.
Right.
Can't you see it?
Yes, sir.
All wickedness here in America.
Right.
Right.
It says, for all nations have drunken with the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
Come on, talk about that.
Huh?
Right.
And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth have waxed rich through the abundance of her
Come on.
delicacies.
Right.
See, all of the countries, all the kings, what it means is they committed fornication. Fornication is when you're having premarital sex. You're engaged in an intimate relationship with someone that you're not married to.
Right.
That's right.
So the kings of the earth, they're involved in an intimate relationship with America.
Right.
To the detriment of their own people
Right.
and their own nations, and they become rich with their trading. Huh? It says the merchants of the earth have waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Come on. Teach the book.
But now listen to this. In the 4th verse it says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come up out of her, my people,
Uh-oh.
Don't partake.
that you be not partakers of her sin,
That's okay.
and that you receive not of her plagues.
Right.
For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquity.
Right.
This is not Brother Randy saying it.
Right.
I'm just giving you the
Teach
scripture.
the book.
Babylon is to be destroyed.
Right.
Somebody's holding back the wind to call you to come out of her. Because if you don't come out and you take part in her sin,
Come on.
you will surely receive of her plagues. Don't say that you have not been warned.
That's right.
We are living in the day of judgment, all right?
Yes, sir.
Now you may say, well, Brother Randy, how do you know that this is the time?
Right.
The scripture says, no man knows the hour.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's it.
But listen what the Quran says.
Uh-oh.
Allah says in the Quran, the knower of the unseen and the seen, so he makes his secrets known to none,
Teach the book. None.
except
Come on.
a messenger
Uh-oh.
whom he chooses.
Right.
For surely he makes a God to go before him and after him.
Right.
Teach the book.
So you may say that no man knows the hour but God. But Allah says in the Quran that he makes his secrets known to a messenger.
Yeah, it's in the book.
Oh, we have been given the messenger
Right.
who has been given the secrets of
Come on.
God.
Right.
He's been given the knowledge of the hour. He's been given the knowledge of the time. He's Honorable Elijah Muhammad says in our book, Our Savior Has Arrived. He says the days of Allah,
Yes.
God, means years
That's right.
of Allah.
Right.
And not a 24-hour day.
Right.
It means years.
Yeah.
These days or years of judgment, according to the Bible and Holy Quran, will not run over 20 years. Meaning that when the judgment begins, these days in which that will take place
Come on, brother.
will not run more than 20 years.
Teach Muhammad. Teach Muhammad.
And according to the scientists of Islam, the teachings of the Holy Quran, which are to be understood, the judgment is to take place between 1,380 years to 1,400 years after the death of Muhammad, the son of Abdullah. Huh?
You right there.
So now he's giving us a time frame for us to realize the fulfillment. Prophet Muhammad died in the year 632.
Come on, man. Add it up.
Look up on the board.
Yes, sir. Come on, add it up. Come on.
632 plus, what did he say? 1380? He said either 1380 or 1400. What does that bring us to? From 632 to plus 1380.
2012.
That brings us to the year 2012. Right?
Right.
So what does that mean, brothers
We
and
right
sisters?
in. We right in.
Yeah, that's it.
Teach Muhammad. Teach Muhammad.
We are right in the judgment.
Right.
We in it.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
We in it.
Right.
This is why in the year 2013
Come on.
was when the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan came out with the lecture series, The Time
What must we do?
and What Must Be Done.
That's right.
We in it. So if the time, he said it was either, right,
Yeah.
1380 years after or 1400 years after. So if we go with 1380, it's 2012.
Right.
But if we go with 1400, it brings us into 2032.
Right.
Mercy of Allah.
These are the years. We are smack dead in it
Right.
right now.
Right.
We're in the judgment,
Right.
right?
Yes, sir.
Now, you gotta understand, my subject, the time and what must be done. You're looking at the mass shootings, you're looking at Trump, you're looking at the madness. Why is it happening? We in the time of the end.
Yes.
Right? Now, as we come into this end time, the last 6, which represents 60 years of grace, which if we are told ought to be 60, not to exceed 70.
Right.
Well, I told you that grace is a man named Farrakhan.
Come on, man.
Huh?
Come on.
And so the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan came into the nation, huh?
Right.
In 1955.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
So we count 70 years of grace from the time that Farrakhan came into the nation.
Go
Come
ahead.
on with the math.
That brings us into 2025. That means, but it's 60 not to exceed 70.
Go ahead.
So the 60 years is up in 2015. We are smack dead in it.
Come on. Come on.
Go ahead.
We are smack dead in it.
Come on. We need to hear. We need to hear.
This is what's happening right now.
Yes. Come on. Come on.
Now we know that the prophecies say that we would be in bondage for 400 years. And after the 400 years, God would come.
God.
Is that right?
That's right. That's what it says.
Well,
Come on.
Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that the first slave ships came in the year what? 1555. So 1555 plus 400 years brings us right to what? 1955.
Yeah.
Come on with the math.
Exact year that the minister came into the Nation of Islam.
Math the math.
That's right.
Now, he taught us the first nations came in 1555.
That's right.
The white man tells you that they came in 1619,
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, he did.
which gives us a 64-year difference.
Yes.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that 64-year difference represents the time, the breaking process.
Right. That's right.
Where the white man took us from being a free, independent, royal people.
Right. Come on, brother. Come on.
And then through the process of buck breaking
Yeah.
That's right.
and other atrocities,
Yeah. Come on.
Murder. Murder.
torture,
Murder. Come on.
they took a proud, strong black man
Right.
Boom. Down.
and reduced him to a servile servant, a docile servant.
Right.
Right.
64 years where they tortured us.
Come on.
Come on, come on.
Huh?
Right.
Take the strongest, meanest black man,
Come on now.
Right.
bring him out in front of all the black men, women, and children,
That's right, that's right.
tar and feather him,
Come on. Talk about the devil.
beat him with a bullwhip, huh?
Yep.
Tie him to horses on opposite sides of his body,
Right, man. So we need to hear that.
let them split him in half,
We need to hear that.
huh?
Yes, sir.
No, this is some of the sadistic, cruel, wicked things
Yes.
that this white man has done to our people,
That's
That's right.
That's right.
huh? They will take a black woman who's pregnant and cut her belly open with a knife
Right.
and stomp on the fetus
Yeah.
on the ground.
Talk about them.
Huh? And they would do this in front of the rest of the brothers and sisters to put fear in them of what would happen if you resist the white man.
Same thing to you.
So there was 64 years of breaking.
Come on, man.
So between 1619, between 1555 and 1619, you have this 64 years.
Come on. Right.
And so as it was then, we see it today.
Yes, sir.
So this is the minister's 64th year.
Come on.
Come on with the
So the
math.
minister been in the nation from 1955. He came in right on the year of the expiration date of our enslavement. Man, you can't make
Come
this
on,
stuff
brother.
up.
Come on, man.
All praises to Allah. So from 1955
Yes, sir.
to 2019,
Yes, sir.
here's another 64 years.
Right.
Right.
This time
Look at that math.
had to be given.
Yes, sir.
Look at the math. God working.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So the same time.
Come on now.
Now this is key in closing. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Come on.
This is very key. The same time that was given to us to break us, to make us a slave, God gave you Farrakhan.
Come on.
Right.
Yeah, come on.
To restore
Come on
you,
now.
to restore the black man and woman,
Come on now.
and take us from niggas and make us back into God.
Right.
Huh? So the 64 years is up. So this is very serious because this being the time that the time is now up. That's the point I'm trying to get to.
Right.
Right.
We don't have no more time to play.
Right.
We are in the grace.
Yes, sir.
We've expired the 64 years that was given
Yes, sir.
to get us up.
Come on
Mercy
now.
from God.
And this year, this time, we are in a time where the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan,
Uh-oh.
he's ready now
Come on.
Ready. Ready.
to make his departure.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Listen.
He did his job.
What will happen
Come on, come on.
when the minister leaves?
Listen.
There won't be no more angels holding back the full wind. All the ministers departed, that means grace is up. And what we will witness is the full weight of the wrath of God coming down on America, coming down on the world, and coming down on rebellious black people that refuse to hear and accept their own and change. Listen to what the scripture says. Before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord, I will send you Elijah the prophet. And what is the job of Elijah? To turn the hearts of the children back to the father. And the hearts of the father back to the children. Lest God come and smite the earth with a curse. When he gave us Elijah, and Farrakhan is crazy. With this, from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Again, he says, come follow me.
Go ahead.
I will lead you to your God of salvation. If you stay here, if you stay where you are, you will suffer the consequences. It's real. So following today, you know the time. You know what must be done. So when you see an increase in white vigilantes targeting black people, when you see an increase in the madness that's going on in the street, know why.
Come on.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, watch the weather. And now, when this deadly weather comes, it's not just affecting white people. We're going to be touched by it too. So I say to us, let's stop playing. Let's get up. Let's stand up. Let's accept our own. We are blessed. God is with us. He's here to make us successful. He's here to make a great nation out of us. He's here to put us in the leadership position. What are we waiting for? Rise up, black man and woman. Accept your own and be yourself. Thank you for your attendance. Thank you for your attention. I close as I opened up with the greeting words of peace and paradise. Assalamu alaikum. Now, I hope that you took notes. Go back, check those dates. It's over. We're at the end. And this time that we're in will not exceed 2032. So between now and 2025, you are witnessing those 20 years. That is called the days of Allah. Those are the days to destroy Satan, but it's also the days where the righteous will be successful. And we will experience unlimited progress.
Come on now.
This is our time. Get up, black man and woman. You can accomplish what you will. Any questions on anything that I talk about?
Yes, sir.
All praises are due to Allah. Questions going once? Questions going twice? No questions. I hope that means that it was clear. All praises are due to Allah. I have a couple of questions. Is there anyone visiting us today for the first time? We don't have no first timers today. That shows us, brothers and sisters, that we have work to do.
Yes.
What is the duty of the civilized person? It is to teach those who are savage civilization.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes.
But then, if the civilized person fails done. Huh? They will be chastised with a severe chastisement. They'll be punished.
That's
For a
right.
severe chastisement. So if we sitting up in here, what good is it we in here getting high off the teachings that we've already accepted? But we not bringing our people to come and hear this message that will save their lives. So brothers, I want to encourage brothers and sisters, I want to encourage us. Let us make sure that we bring the guests. Our sole purpose, FOI.
Yes, sir.
Our sole purpose, FOI.
Yes, sir.
Is to deliver the 17 million dead to the Lamb of God. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Let's get after our people. Is there anyone today? We don't have any first timers, but anyone today who would like to accept, who, if you haven't already accepted, and become a registered member of the Nation of Islam? Raise your hands. I think everyone that's here. Oh, we got two. All praises to Allah. Takbir. 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 All praises due to Allah. Our young brothers is really ready to accept their own. Brother Jalil, and Jamal. They're ready. Brother Holly and Sister Natasha Shirley. Let's give them a warm round of applause. That's what I'm talking about. Our future's bright. Is that right? But check this out. Guess what somebody else wanted to accept? Was it someone else?
No,
Okay.
I was just letting you know those.
Nah, let me try, little cat. All praises due to Allah. I want to say our future is bright, but guess what? Y'all not just our future. You are right now.
Right now.
This is your time.
Yeah.
I'm happy to receive it. So with that said, I want to encourage us to continue to come out. Bring somebody with you. Let's go after our people. And then let's get busy going to work to build this nation, to build the reality that God has already come to bless us to do. So once again, I thank you. I want to turn you back over into the hands of our student minister, Brother Daniel, who's going to briefly go over the announcements and close us out with prayer. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.